Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gator Insider, presented by Talon Wealth. With our Gators Insider, Chris Harry, I'm Sean Kelley, and welcome everybody to the start of the Southeastern Conference schedule. The Gators are 1-1 as we come to you this week, and now an overall record of 10-5 just on the outside, looking into the top 25 with some big games coming up, especially one at home on Saturday against Tennessee. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. But through the first two games in Southeastern Conference play, the Gators have a split, a road loss at Missouri by 2 points, and then a resounding win over former Gator head coach Mike White and arch rival Georgia these past couple of days at the O-Dome. So far, Chris, it's not chalk for what we thought the Gators would be like through the first two, but it does play into what we believe the Gators are so far this season.
Yeah, and I think just like last year, the Missouri lost at home, the only loss for the Gators at home last season in their championship season, kind of did some things and drew some attention to some things. I think this Missouri loss on the road did kind of the same thing. Florida did not play to its strengths. The rebounding wasn't there. Todd Golden was pretty adamant about it, that this team cannot win if it's not rebounding the ball spectacularly. And what did it do against Georgia? Pounded the dogs on the glass. No doubt, especially in the second half. And it's a team right now that finds itself at the bottom of the Power 4 conference teams in three-point shooting. It's become who they are. But in some ways, not a small sample size anymore. It's half the season.
It's half the season,
right.
15 games worth. Right. I do feel like in some ways the win against Georgia, though, I feel like the Gators kind of figured out who they are in some ways with the way they perform.
And not Todd Golden, I wrote it down here. Todd Golden after the game basically said, our ceiling's not as high because right now it's 27.7% from the three-point line. And like you said, it is not only worse in the SEC, but worse among power conferences. He said the more we accept and take pride in being the kind of ugly, gritty, physical team, I think we'll continue to see good results. And that means pounding the glass. It means defending without fouling, and they have to take care of the ball. And they took care of the ball really, really well against Georgia. Boogie Flan had a really good game that day.
It's a couple of games now that they've gone back to valuing the basketball. The prior season low was 8 turnovers against Providence, which seems like an eternity ago now in this season. And it is something that I guess is on the uptick here for the Gators. So is the play of the bigs. And Thomas Houck has emerged, as we thought he would, as the best player on the floor in a given night.
Fantastic player, flirting with All-American status, I would think. Right now he leads the SEC in minutes per game. I think he's something like 34th in the country around that. He's shooting 34% from three, 17.5 points a game, 6.8 rebounds. He just makes winning plays after winning plays, great team player, and you don't want him to come off the floor. I mean, one of the reasons Todd Golden has said that the team is not going to play as fast as maybe they'd like to, you don't want to tire the guy out. You don't want to tire Kondo out. Those are your two best players. You want to keep them on the floor as often as possible.
Yeah, Houck had 24 against Missouri, 21 against Georgia. Condon also had 21 against Georgia, despite, again, some early foul trouble there. It's amazing how much attention Condon is drawing from opposing defense.
Yeah, and I tell you what, so he last year there in the NCAA tournament, he had some rough stretches, but he really rebounded from those rough stretches, had that great national championship game, of course. But what he's been able to do, around 15 points a game, I think he's in the top 5 rebounding in the conference. I think he's having a really good season.
No doubt. And Ruben Chinyelu also falls into a category of great season right now. He's averaging a double-double, and he's near the top of every rebounding statistical category as an individual in college basketball. What is it about Ruben's game, Chris, that you've noticed through these first 15 games and early conference schedule that stands out the most?
Well, I mean, he was outstanding defensive player last year, and I think that's still there. He's an immovable object in the low post, obviously, but I think really, and you agree with me, Sean, his offensive game is much better. He can score a little bit further away from the basket. His jump hooks he doesn't have to be 2 feet, 3 feet. He can be about 5 feet away, left hand, right hand. I think he's becoming quite the offensive force inside. The Gators got to play through him a little bit, and as long as they're not hitting shots, they got to get the ball inside to him. They got to get the ball inside to Kondo. They got to play that perimeter, not the perimeter game, but the paint game.
Yeah, the Chinyelu sense of humor also comes through a little bit as he showed us his face-up 15-foot jumper last game to knock out.
Did he give you the look in the tongue?
A little bit, and he added that to his repertoire. He's a more complete player right now. There's no doubt that we knew going into the season that the front line would be the strength of the Gators. That's proven to be the case. Chris, where are you on the Gators guards right now, specifically Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland?
I mean, we're looking at 26% from three from Xavier, and he's starting to get a little better. I mean, he's more regressing to the mean, I guess, in terms of what he's been, what he was at Princeton in terms of 3-point shooting. Boogie Fland, it's just got to be mental right now, and whether you have to keep taking those open 3-point shots if the defense is going to give them to you, because this guy was a 33% 3-point shooter last year, so. Are they going to fall? I don't know if they're going to fall. I mean, like I said, we're halfway through the season right now. The Gators are missing 19 threes a game. So because you're missing 19 threes a game, you got to hit the glass. And that's what their strength is. That's what their strength is going to be. That's what it needs to remain. They have to emphasize that and just play through these struggles from the 3-point line.
No doubt. They have pushed off rebounds, especially on the defensive glass. And then, of course, they've offset some of these shooting woes with offensive rebounding numbers. That includes the guards. One thing I've noticed here of late, too, Chris, I'm curious if you'll agree, when Boogie Fland starts to go downhill, the Gators offense is a completely different animal.
Yeah, he plays off 2 feet when he gets inside. That's something Xavier Lee doesn't really do, but Boogie can get in the paint and he can hit those short jumpers, and he can hit little mid-range jumpers. Gators can live with that stuff, and I think he's kind of becoming who he needs to be for this team. If the shot comes, that'll be a bonus.
Before we wrap up here, Chris, there are a couple of numbers that I do want your perspective on. Like, for example, Florida's 9-1 against the unranked teams. They got a ranked win in the win over Georgia the other night. They've slipped out of the top 25 for the time being, which I know has caused some alarm with fans.
Sure.
But yet Ken Pom sits right around 15. Nets in the top 35 right now. So help me make sense of what the numbers and metrics are telling us about who the Gators are, aside from the 10-5 record.
Yeah, the metrics are high on Ken Pom because of the rebounding, of course. And I'll tell you what. So they're 2-4 in quad ones right now. Okay, so they let some of those slip away. What we talk about this number all the time. What is it? 5 wins or 5 losses by a combined 17 points now. That's how close the margin is, and obviously that's why Florida is still high up. The quad 1 opportunity, obviously against Tennessee at home, a likely quad 1 at Oklahoma next Tuesday, and a huge quad 1 opportunity against right now unbeaten Vanderbilt, favorite to win the league right now, believe it or not, on the road of Nashville next Saturday.
Yes, and the Commodores won their second game in conference play over another conference title contender in Alabama. It is going to be an interesting next couple of games. These first 5 in league play for the Gators might be the hardest 5 combined or any one stretch of what the Gators will face in conference play this season. As Chris mentioned, it's noon tip for Tennessee on Saturday, road game at Oklahoma coming up on Tuesday night, and then, of course, 1 week from Saturday at Nashville against Vanderbilt. Chris, enjoy the basketball upcoming. Go Gators. That's Chris Harry. I'm Sean Kelley, and that's Gators Insider, presented by Talon Wealth.